Hello everyone, my name is Masterstarman, and welcome back for more Let's Play Metroid Prime. Last time, we went through the frigate Orphan, found out the attack there was caused by our arch-nemesis Ridley, pursued him to the unknown planet Talon 4. It's raining up a storm here, and we have no idea where the heck we're going, what the heck we might find. I will say straight up front, the atmosphere in this game is second to none. I'm gonna immediately praise that, because I think it's something worth praising. Like, the fact you just kind of land in the middle of a thick rainstorm, you just lost all your items, you know, you don't know where the heck to go. And all the while this music plays here, it's very, very cinematic. And we have a new enemy here. These are seedlings, plant-based ground feeders. They're basically just enemies that'll shoot spikes out at you. I'm not gonna read like too much into the biology of a lot of enemies. I'm gonna keep the pace up a little bit more here. If you head over this way, this is the impact crater. If you try to scan here, we have more space pirate data. Field team reports they're on age structure, the alien design here, built at the surface of Talon 4. Studies show that the structure projects containment field. This field bars access to a prime source of energy deep within the crater. Science team believes the field is powered by a number of strange Chozo artifacts. We have found some of these relics, and studies on them have begun. As this field could hinder future energy production operation on Talon 4, we must dismantle as soon as possible. If this means the destruction of Chozo artifacts, it will be done. We cannot go this way, though. This is a blast shield. I believe that is a scan log you will need at some point. Basically, it is kind of a finite one, but you get a lot of chances to get that one. Basically, you need a missile to get through that door. It would be nice if we didn't just lose all those in the last video. But yeah, I'll say straight up front, this is probably my favorite song in the entire game, and that's saying something. Like, this is such a good music track. Like, seriously look it up at some point if you haven't already. New enemies here. Beetles here. Gonna just ignore for the time being. They're kind of just standard enemies. They run into you. Not too much really to say. We have Zoomers here. Pretty basic enemies. Blast caps, pretty basic enemies that explode if they, like, die. Very, very, very basic enemies here. So, like, there's not really a lot to say other than if you touch them, you will get hurt. This is an elevator here. Access to Chozo Ruins West granted. Please step into the hologram here. Let's head up onto the elevator here. The last video actually went a lot longer than I thought it would have. This video is going to be kind of lengthy too, but for different reasons. There's a lot we're kind of going to be going over here. And, yeah, I won't be going as in-depth on a lot of other things. Just kind of clearing out some Beetles here. We have something new up here, though. If you see this weird texture up here, I want to give that a scan, because this is a Chozo lore. The history of the Chozo stretches back to ancient times, so as far as fog in the past, we know not where our ancestors came from. One thing is clear, however: the Chozo who colonized Talon 4 made a conscious choice to eschew civilization of ancient technology. We Chozo chose to live in harmony with nature, guided by providence of the universe. We believe we will spend peaceful days here and plan to leave our worlds from time to time. Well, I guess we'll see what happened to them. Welcome to the Chozo Ruins. I believe this room's called Main Plaza. Yeah, this is kind of like the main area of Chozo Ruins, and there's a lot here. You may notice up in the distance here, there is actually a missile expansion up there. Can't get that yet at all. If we scan that, object resists top a very smooth inclined slope. Interesting. You can explore around here. I've been through this so many times that I kind of just know the way of where I'm supposed to be going, so I am kind of just going that way. We have a new enemy here. These are scarabs. Similar to the parasites, except perhaps a lot more deadly. These things often show up in these rooms in particular, these hallways in Chozo Ruins. You don't want to go through them while... You don't want to just walk through them, because they can actually do a lot of damage and very unexpected damage if you're not prepared for it. So just keep that in mind. We have some more lore here. Many long years have passed since Chozo first took root in this land. Passage of time has always been a source of fascination to us. It is the belief of many Chozo sages that truths of the universe hide with the tumbling of current time flows. Even as we search for answers there, however, we find illumination in other, unexpected places. We know not how the ability has come to us, but recently, many Chozo have begun to sense things beyond the realm of ordinary perception. Strange sights and inexplicable sensations flood our minds, filling us with visions. We take this growing inability and sign of growing harmonization with the infinite. Perhaps finally, the universe's secrets are becoming known to us. Yeah, lore does... I will say reading lore might seem like it might take out of some immersion, and I don't know if reading lore 100% in the middle of videos is, like, the best way to do it, but, like, it is something I do like to do, and do like to kind of soak a lot in here. We do have a save station over there, and we have a new enemy here. You cannot scan enemies if you're in a different room from them. We got war wasps. These things are kind of annoying here. I am going to go back into the save station again so I can heal, because that should not have done 40 damage in a couple of hits there. You can kill enemies through doors, which I love, because they kind of... Enemies aren't programmed to go through different doors. If they have a gun, they can sometimes shoot you through them, but... yeah, not really so much the other way around, so that's a very, very fortunate thing. We also have their nests here. Okay, I don't believe that's actually like a proper scan log here. We do have this new enemy here, a Plasmite. It's basically a Firefly here. I've recognized these things from Super Metroid before I played this game. If you kill them, the room will get slightly darker, but it shouldn't be too much of a big deal, especially if you're... I'm playing on a pretty big HD TV to begin with. I'm playing on a 42-inch, so I can see just fine personally, but yeah. Anyways, this arena looks very ominous. We see a collectible... looks worn but functional. We see a collectible off in our distance. Yes, I see that. Mechanical device appears to be inactive. Life forms detected within hollows of machine. Yeah, inactive my ass. We got ourselves a mini-boss. This is Hive Mecca. Hive Mecca is kind of an unusual mini-boss here. A security unit programmed to move with predatory hive dwellers. A design flaw makes the shielding on Hive Mecca weak around their access ports. These units are second-generation combat drones able to interface with organic units at higher level. They train, shelter, and work with hive-dwelling predators. Unarmed, they rely on their hive beasts to handle any threats here. Speaking of, these are a new enemy here. Both these enemies here, the Ram War Wasps and the Hive Mecca, one-time enemies. If you are going for all scans, get them now while you can here, because you will not get that chance otherwise. This mini-boss here can be kind of annoying here. It's... if you want an easier time with this, I do recommend turning on the fast turn speed and the lock on. Basically, you want to kill all the enemies and then attack the mecha directly here. It's also best if you can get some of these things while they zoom out here, and pay attention to the radar and sound prompts. I can barely hear my television right now, so that does not help this at all, but yeah, if you can use sound prompts to this, that's a very, very welcome thing. You can shoot them while they're moving, it's just kind of tricky. If you can, that does sometimes stun them a little bit, which can be nice to do that. Shoot. There's 3 phases of this, and they just kind of get more and more war wasps each time here. So, I was hoping to kill at least one of those while they were... I've actually died in this fight, even in my old Let's Plays, so, it's not like it's hard. In fact, I just did this the other day just to practice, and not that I think I need a whole lot of practice, and also I just played this game, like, only a couple months ago, but yeah, this fight's... Actually, I guess it was more than a couple months ago now, I suppose. I don't remember, when was it that I played through this game again last? I don't remember, actually. I thought it was only in, like, June, but maybe it was before that, actually, because I seem to remember it being before some certain world events happened this year that I'd rather not get into, but yeah, really, what the heck hit me there? The big thing you don't want to do is fall into the acid water here, because that also does damage you, and that's something they do try to do is push you in there. They don't really hurt a whole lot by themselves, but yeah, that's the big thing you want to keep in mind for this. Jeez, really? Having the, like, definite lock-on definitely does help for this, though. I will agree to that there. And that should be it there. That is, in fact, it. And for killing that guy, we get our missile launcher. I don't think this counts for collection or not. I actually don't really remember. But, yeah. We can get our missiles. You can use the missiles to blow open that blast door there, and we have access to our first energy tank. Can't really do anything else a whole lot in this room because we can't really go through this here. There are some missile scans that we can get here. Oh, by the way, this is also a new enemy here, Tangleweed. I didn't really go over that one because it's not even an enemy. It just slows you down. It doesn't even damage you. But leaving this area does drop some platforms to leave here. This room's really weird. It has a very slanted isometric look here, which is very disorienting because very few other rooms in the game really do that. This is like the only one that really comes to mind. I guess this room to a lesser extent, but it kind of just feels like it's built off the last one. Everything else does feel like it's in a normal way, at least. Anyways, this is what happens if you kill blast caps. I mentioned this enemy before. They just release some spores that do some damage, but then go away. You'll want to kill them from a distance. And there is a missile right there. I will, in fact, be going for 100% in this Let's Play, as I like to do in a lot of my LPs. Over here, this is something I don't often go towards, but it is very nice. It is a map station. You know what this is already. I just wasn't sure if the scan for the map before would have counted, but yep, we do in fact have a map station for Chozo Ruins, which is very, very, very nice. It is a pretty big area here. We'll be coming back through Chozo Ruins a fair bit of times in this game, and I will point out, first of all, there is a little thing here. We'll want to keep that in mind for a little bit later. Metroid Prime and Metroid as a series in general is kind of known for backtracking. I will be blunt and admit that. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, and I know it's not always the most interesting things in the world. Generally, I do think Prime does it fairly well. I'm also going to use the save room this here. But I can understand how it's not everyone's cup of tea. And because of that, I do plan on, like, doing, like, a fair bit of editing in this to make the more backtracking stuff more interesting to watch. So, yeah, it's... Get out of here. It's definitely a thing that can be more acquired, for lack of a better word here, but I don't think it's that bad in this game, and, like, we're already pretty much back to main plaza, which is where we needed to go anyway, so, yeah. Anyways, we also see that we have a very nice prize up on a ledge that we cannot get yet at all. Yep, that is true. That would be very nice to get, if only. If only. If only. Yeah, there's a lot of secrets you can get here. Again, just scan the blast door eventually, because you do need that forest scan, but we're not in too much, like, bad shape of finding it here. I suppose I should go over the health here a little bit. We've only seen one red energy so far, but basically there's small, medium, and large variants of the missiles and the health. I think the small missiles was a change added in the PAL version, which could be a good time to go over this. The Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii here is based on the PAL version of Metroid Prime, and there are a fair number of differences between the two. I'll go over more of them as we go on, but yeah, the PAL version does change quite a fair bit. And check out what we got off in the distance. It's almost like this arena was totally not ominous or built for this here. We got some Beetles here. If you can, I would recommend using missiles to clear some of these guys out here. The Beetles aren't that difficult here as normal enemies go here, but they can be a little bit annoying at times, especially in grouped and bigger enemies here. Again, I like using missiles to clear out bigger groups of them here. They, again, also because I am playing on hard mode, these things will take a few extra hits to kill. Basically, all hard mode does is make enemies take slightly more damage, and you take slightly more damage, so it's like, it's basically just that. The later Prime games get a little excessive with their harder modes, but that's not what we're here to talk about here, because we got the plated Beetle, if I can scan it right. Don't worry too much about missing this guy. You'll get plenty of chances to get this one again if you don't get this one immediately here. You want to wait till this guy does that, and then wait for him to dash, and then that'll give you a good spot to shoot his red bum-bum. I had a very weird practice attempt of this guy. It wasn't recorded or anything, but, like, I didn't... We just kind of kept moving back and forth without him doing his dash attack. I thought he just kind of dashed whenever, not when you were standing still, but he's pretty easy, all things considered. And for our reward, we get the Morph Ball. Very, very, very nice. Very nice item. And with that, we're kind of pretty near done with the first little bit of Chozo Ruins, actually. We're going to be kind of moving on to our second half. By the way, also, you can mention on the map here, and if you just look around here, there's another door up there, there's something down there, there's little notches everywhere. There's more secrets to definitely explore here. So, we'll be sure to make our way back here in the fairly near future, I think. Actually, not even fairly near. I'd say fairly far off future now that I think about it, but yeah. Anyways, there's only really one path on our map that we can go back to. I am aware that I showed that there was that one missile door earlier in Talon Overworld, but we'll be going back there later on in a fair little bit, so yeah, we'll kind of worry about that whenever we cross paths with it, so for now, we're just going to kind of continue on here. If you roll into Morph Ball with these guys, it's not that bad as far as taking damage. As you saw there, I took like 50 damage just from like walking through that little bit of enemies. They drop a lot of health, which is their saving grace. These definitely are farm enemies more than anything, but yeah, you'll definitely want to keep that in mind. Like, if I... Okay, no, there's no more enemies there, then. This room, we have some stuff to keep in mind for later. There is some more of these firefly guys. There's a missile there, can't do anything about it. Whenever you see these tracks on the ceiling and walls, you'll want to keep those in mind for later. Again, you do not want to end up in this acid water because it hurts you. This is also acid water. Do not go in it. And we have more Chozo lore. Surges of negative energy brought by the meteor far exceeded our expectations. We Chozo have yet to find a way to rid ourselves of the great poison. All we can do now is seal it away and wait for the day when power to purify the poison appears. However, it's impossible to already collect all the pieces of the great poison, as it has already spread, seeping into the planet and hardening. Interesting. I will say straight up front here, I'm not going to bother with that way there. It's a dead end for right now, and I'm just going to be blunt and state that sometimes. Like, there's certain doors I know where, like, these things lead to. I'll get into these enemies at a later on point, too, because they're pretty frequent. But, yeah. We have more new enemies. Again, I'll get into some of these here in a little bit here, because this video has been going on a fair bit of time here. We're approaching a save room here, and that's probably going to be the end of this video here, because it's been going on a fair bit of time. Next time on Metroid Prime, we're going to continue exploring more Chozo Ruins and seeing what this side of the area has to offer. I'll see you guys before that then, because this is in fact a save station. Peace out.